So it's not very nice when people don't listen. That's not very nice, is it? When you know someone's not listening and they're looking away or they're doing their phone or something like that, it's not very nice. We don't like that. So we want you to demonstrate to the examiner that you are listening. And there's a few different ways of doing it. Okay, one of them is I think they call it verbal encouragement. Sometimes I call it non-verbal as well, but it doesn't really make much difference. Verbal encouragement. Okay. Verbal encouragement is, all right. Oh, okay. I see. Yeah. So I'll demonstrate it. Let's go for Mary. Are you there, Mary?
Yes, boss.
Hi, Mary. What did you do yesterday, Mary?
So then they can click on the link.
There's a bit of noise in the background there, Mary, isn't there? Angela, are you there, Angela?
Yes, sir.
Hi, Angela. What did you do yesterday?
I was just cleaning the room, and then after that, I went to the church in the evening.
And what did you do after church?
After church, we were just having hanging out for some time, just like 1 hour. Then after that, we started preparing our dinner.
What did you have for dinner?
Chicken.
Now, does that feel like a comfortable conversation that me and Angela are having?
No.
Something missing, isn't there?
Yes.
I'm not encouraging Angela at all. She doesn't know if I'm interested. It sounds like I'm not interested, really. It sounds like I'm doing a questionnaire. Let's do it again. Angela, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
What did you do yesterday, Angela?
Yes, sir. Yesterday we were just cleaning the rooms since it was a weekends, and then after that in the evening we went to the church, and coming back we just hang out for an hour, and then we started preparing our dinner.
Oh, right.
For
Okay.
dinner,
What did you have for dinner?
yes, we cooked chicken.
Oh, chicken. Nice. Okay. How did you cook it?
Just simple fry with tomato.
Oh, I bet it was delicious. Okay. So that's completely different, isn't it? So that kind of thing. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Okay. Now you'll know that when I speak to anybody, this is what I do. I ask you guys questions all the time. And I always use these kinds of noises, these kinds of phrases to give you encouragement, because I want you to keep talking. I want you to tell me more because I'm interested. And I want to encourage everyone to practice and to do as much speaking as possible. So I think there's a real similarity when it comes to information gathering and information giving. There's a very real similarity between my job and your job. Okay. As a teacher, it's my job to encourage you guys, to ask you guys questions. Okay. I really want to hear your information and show you that I'm listening, and you have to do the same thing. Okay. Now, there was another thing that I did there. Echoing and repetition. This is where you just say the same thing that the patient says. Okay, that's it. So when I was speaking to Angela before, I went, oh, chicken, after she said chicken. All right, so let's do an example. Let's go, Munit. Are you there, Munit? Hi, Munit. Are you there?
Yes.
Ah, okay. I can see your microphone's on. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You can hear me. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, Munit, I want you to be a patient with a very painful finger. Okay? All right. Okay, so Munit, when did your finger start to hurt you? Say that again? I think we've got a problem there, Munit. Sorry. Gloria, are you there? Hello, Gloria.
It's Glory or Gloria?
Oh, well, I'll go for Glory if you're there, Glory.
Yeah.
Okay, so when did your finger start to hurt you, Glory?
Just last 2 days back.
2 days. Okay. And out of 10, what would you score the pain?
I can say 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. Okay. That sounds painful.
Yeah, it's too painful.
Okay.
I can't even do my daily work.
Okay, so I did two things there. I echoed, okay, you just repeat exactly, repeat exactly the same phrase used by the speaker. Okay, so what that does is it makes it clear that I'm listening. I know exactly what you said, but you can't keep doing that. Okay, you've also got paraphrasing and interpretation. Okay, paraphrasing and interpretation. So when Glory said that it was 8 out of 10, my reaction was, I repeated it. I said 8 out of 10. That must be very painful. Okay. Now, what am I doing there? I'm interpreting what she's told me. 8 out of 10. That sounds bad to me. And by interpreting the information and giving it back to her, I was making it clear that I'm processing the information. Okay. Process information you were given and restate it. Okay. It shows that you are listening and that you're engaged. Now, remember what I said earlier. Demonstrate to the examiner that we understand the information. Okay. That's why this is one of the indicators. One of the indicators, it enables you to show the examiner that you know what this person means, what they're saying, and you can say it back to them. Okay. So we are facilitating the patient's narrative. The narrative is a story. What's their situation? What are they trying to tell me? I'm facilitating that. Just like I do with you guys, you're encouraging them to tell you more information. And these are 3 really good ways of doing it. I think this one's quite difficult because it's got a bit of a language expectation. And these 2 are quite strange because you might never have done it before. And I know that in other languages and other cultures, we use a lot of body language, don't we? So we also, if you think about it, you do this, don't you? You nod your head. In other languages, it goes side to side. Or you could say, right, okay, and you're using your hands. Well, obviously, the way that you're speaking is reviewed is on tape. Okay, they record it, it's audio, so they can't see what your hands are doing. So maybe what your hands and your shoulders and your head is doing in the speaking exam might facilitate here. You're not going to get a mark for that by the people in Australia who are listening to your test. Okay. All right. So any questions about this part? The moment. Don't forget, you're going to get the chance to do a lot of practice on this. Kushal, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
You got a question?
No, I think it was from previous ones.
All right, okay, no problem. Okay, so let's move on and let's go and look at the next one. Now, this one is one that really does take a bit of time to practice because when it comes to questions, question grammar, it starts out as something quite basic. Okay, it does start out as something quite basic, but it can become quite complicated as well. And the problem with it is that you can learn the grammar and you can do many questions and get them all right. Then when it comes to the exam, we forget how to do it and the questions come out in different orders and things like that. So I'm not going to do too much on this, but I will draw you a diagram. This is how I see topics. Okay. We start out open, and as we go through, it gets closed. Okay. So by open questions, I'm saying that the answer could be anything in English. How are you feeling today? Oh, I feel like a crocodile. Okay. Silly. It's a stupid answer, but it's an open question. I can answer whatever I like. How old are you? I'm 106. It can be anything you want. All right. Closed questions are yes and no. Okay. So if I ask something like, does it hurt? Really, there's only yes or no that you can say for that. And what happens quite frequently is that we start open and then we become more and more closed. So how are you at the moment? Oh, I'm great. Really? Okay. What have you been doing recently? Oh, I went on holiday. Oh, really? Where did you go? Oh, I went to Spain. Okay. Was it nice? Yes or no? Lots of open questions leading to a closed one. So can you tell me where the pain is? It's in my finger. When did it start? Oh, it started about 2 days ago. Does it affect your sleep? Open questions down into closed questions. So there's a lot of grammar here. Okay. There is grammar, but generally we move from open questions to closed questions when we are when we're interrogating. Okay. So you'll definitely hear this. Now, one piece of advice I would say here is this doesn't mean at the beginning of your speaking it's open and then at the end of your consultation it's all closed. It's not like that. If you think about it, what really happens is this. It's sort of I would say this is probably how a conversation goes. Open to closed, open to closed, open to closed. That's basically it as you move on to this is topic 1. And then you move on to topic 2. Okay. And then 3. And it basically is like that as you go through the conversation. You have frequent times where you go back open again, and then you go back closed, then you go back open, you go back closed. One thing I would say is you can't ask too many closed questions, because when you ask open question, when you ask an open question, you're giving the opportunity to the speaker to say whatever they want. And if somebody's asking me too many open questions, or the questions are too open, I give very unclear answers. So if someone says to me, can you tell me about your symptoms? I say, oh yeah. Oh, they're terrible, horrible symptoms. Making such a big difference, causing me a real headache at the moment. Yeah. You haven't learned anything about the symptoms, really. What you want to know is, when did they begin? How badly do they affect you? Is your sleep affected? Which part of the body is it? That's what you want to know. But you asked a very open question. Tell me about your symptoms. And I gave you an extremely open answer. So your job is to try and get the information you need. You can't be too open. All right. So tomorrow, when you do your focused practice session, there'll be a little bit more on question grammar. But basically, you've got closed questions, yes or no, open questions, when, where, how much, all of that kind of thing. And then you've got a third type, which is a kind of indirect question. Would it be possible to ask you when it started? Are you able to tell me how much it hurts? Things like that. So those are indirect questions with question starters, and that's more of a grammatical part, which you can have a look at tomorrow in your focus practice. All right. Compound and leading questions. Is there anybody that doesn't know what a compound or a leading question is? Put your hand up if you don't know what a compound or a leading question is. Yanuli. Hello, Yanuli. Are you there?
Yes, today's my first day on class, so I don't know about that.
No problem, Yanuli. It's fine. Lots of people don't know what it is when they first start OET speaking. I'll give you an example. Okay.
Okay,
So
thank
here we
you.
go. So Yanuli, where do you live and what's your profession?
A nursing profession.
Okay. Your answer, what did you just give me? That was a perfect example. You answered the second question, didn't you? I said, where do you live and what's your profession? And your mind straight away went to the last question, which was profession. And we didn't discuss where you live. So a compound question is asking more than one thing at once. Okay, in one question. Now the risk is, like we just did there, Yanuli, the risk is that if somebody hears two questions together, that they only answer one of them. And if anybody ever asks me, when I'm pretending to be the patient, if anybody asks me a compound question, I only answer the second question. I don't answer the first. So a more common OET one would be, where is the pain? And when did it start? So my answer to that, Yanuli, would be, oh, it started 2 days ago. That's what I would answer. But what's the problem, Yanuli, if we do that?
We concern only one question about
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you don't know where the pain is, do you?
that. I know, but I didn't tell about that.
Well, no, if we turn it round, if you're the nurse, if you say, where is the pain and when did it start? And the patient says, oh, it started 2 days ago. All you know is when it started, you don't know where the pain is. And that's a really essential piece of information, isn't it?
Yeah.
What if the pain is in their neck? A serious pain in the neck. Okay, that's very different to a pain being in the knee. You know, if the pain's in the finger or the pain's in the back, it makes a difference. If the pain's in the back, maybe they can't stand up. If the pain's in the finger, then maybe they just can't type, and completely different conditions involved. So we've got to avoid asking compound questions. That is something that people do a lot at the beginning of their OET journey. Okay. Always keep it chunked. Okay. Ask for one piece of information at a time. Okay. One piece of information at a time. A leading question. Okay. Tell me about this, Yanuli. What do you think about that as a question, Yanuli? Is that okay?
Yeah, it's okay, I think.
Yeah, it seems okay. It seems harmless. You can quit smoking, can't you?
Mm.
But really, if you think about it, how does the patient feel if you say that? What do you think the patient will answer?
She can give a direct answer.
But the patient
Yeah.
will feel pressured to answer how you want them to answer. Now, how do you want the patient to answer in this one? You can quit smoking, can't you? What do I want you to say as the patient? I want the patient to say yes.
Yeah.
That's what I want them to say. Now, is it easy to stop smoking, Yanuli? Are you there, Yanuli?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do people find it easy to quit smoking?
Yeah. It's
No, not really.
They don't. They're
No.
addicted, aren't they? It's very difficult. Now, just imagine you're a patient and you're addicted to smoking. The nurse says, you can quit smoking, can't you? You think, oh, yeah, I can do that. Promise. And then what happens when they walk out? they're smoking. Okay. It doesn't help anybody to put someone under pressure. And that's what a leading question is. A leading question is where you lead someone to what you want the answer to be. Can you think of a better way of asking that question? In fact, can anybody think of a better way? Type it into the chat box. What do you think the answer, what do you think would be a good question in the chat box? Just type it in there.
Would we increase, I think.
Anyone got any ideas?
Leading question, you mean?
Just type it into the chat box.
Okay.
What question do you think would be better than this one? You can quit smoking, can't you? Do you think, well, Gifty, that's not a question, is it? Carmen, do you think you can reduce the smoking? Yeah, okay. Do you think you can quit smoking? Would be a paraphrase of it. Yeah, we're not talking about reducing, we're talking about stopping. But I understand why you'd say that instead. So, do you think you can quit smoking? Now, that is a closed question. Okay, it's a closed question, but it's an honest question. Do you think you can quit smoking? All right. Is it manageable? Do you think you can manage to quit smoking? That would be a really good question. This is much better. Okay. This one is a leading question. And we don't want to do the leading questions. We don't want them to feel like they're under pressure. Okay. So this is what we want, a much better one. We're not giving advice, we're asking questions.
So it was good?
Say that again, Carmen?
It was okay?
Yeah, it's good, but reduce and quit are not the same. Reduce means make less.
Yeah, I was trying to think that maybe if I
Yeah,
take step by step,
I get it. Yeah, I know it's like a gradual thing.
Yeah.
But I would start with this one, and if they say no, then you could say, well, maybe we could reduce it a little bit
Yeah.
first, and then go into that.
Or is it not judgmental question?
How is it judgmental?
So do you think you can quit smoking? So it's like not judgmental, like little bit for me it's look like judgmental.
How is it judgmental? What judgment is it making?
So like you mean that he cannot quit smoking, so like you are challenging them.
No, it's a question. It's not
Maybe you mean patronized?
No, if I said something like this, that would be judgmental, wouldn't it? Yeah.
The dirty habit of smoking. Okay.
That would be judgmental. Or do you think you can stop killing yourself with cigarettes? Now that's judgmental, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But do you think you can stop smoking? That's not.
No, okay.
No, it's just offer it. Just saying, what do you think about this? No, that's not judgmental. So it's something that people often do at the beginning. It's something that while you're focusing on other things, you might just do it by accident. Leading questions, not so much, but compound questions, definitely. People do that a lot.
Can we say that in this question, we also offer a piece of advice?
Well, not to begin with. It's just asking a question. That's all it is. All I want to know, remember, I'm gathering information. All I want to know is, do you think you can do it? If they say no, then I move somewhere else and start talking to them about something else. If they say yes, I start talking to them about doing it. Okay. All right. I've only got 5 minutes left, so let me go through this. Clarifying statements which are vague. Okay. How are you at the moment? Patient.
Okay.
I'm a bit strange at the moment. I'm a bit strange at the moment. Oh, okay. Okay. I'd like to talk to you about... That doesn't feel right, does it?
No.
That doesn't feel right, does it, Mariama? I've just ignored it.
Yeah.
I just ignored it. Or you might say, okay, I'm sorry to hear that.
Could you tell me more about it?
Definitely, Mariama. If someone says something like this, and I'm thinking, I don't really understand that. I don't know what strange means. Does this person mean strange like they've got headache? Do they mean strange like they're having hallucinations? Do they mean strange like something strange happening with their hearing? Are they feeling numb in their fingers? Do they feel like they've got brain fog? I need to know. Okay, this would not be a good response. Okay, here, I'm sorry to hear why would I give empathy when I don't even understand it properly? Okay, this wouldn't be good for me. Good would be, okay, can you tell me a little bit more about that? Or it could be, can you clarify what you mean by strange? All right, this is good. Okay, I don't know about you guys, but I like to understand when I'm talking to people.
Yeah.
I like to know if my job is to treat a patient, I can only treat them if I understand what they've told me. All right, I can only give advice if I know exactly. Now, if they say, well, actually, you know what? My left arm is a bit painful and I've got pins and needles in my finger. I'm a bit short of breath. Oh, I'm thinking this person could be about to have a heart attack now. That would change everything. But if they just said something like, oh, you know, I haven't really been eating a lot recently, and, you know, I've got this taste in my mouth, which is metallic. Well, then I'm not going to be thinking urgently about it. So if someone says something unclear, okay, we need to clarify it. And I do this all the time when I'm the patient. I give lots of unclear statements and then I wait to hear, will they clarify it? Okay. So sometimes the interlocutor will say something which isn't clear. That doesn't mean you've done something wrong. That means that they're testing you and it's up to you to find out what it is. All right. So clarifying. And then the last one is summarizing. Now, there are two types of summarizing in OET speaking. There's summarizing information that you give, which is part of providing structure. You did that last week. And there's summarizing information that you have received. All right. So after you've asked a number of questions, when did it begin? What kind of pain is it? Where is the pain? Okay. After you've asked all that, you just say it back. Say what you've learned back to the patient. And then say, is that correct? All right. We begin by saying something like, can anyone think what you'd say to announce that you're going to summarize? What might you say? Okay. Baha, what would you say?
I understand that. Or summarizing.
I don't think I'd say I understand that. I don't think I'd say that. I said just to summarize.
Yes.
So you could say I understand that. You could do that. But I would probably say something like, so just to summarize, you told me that. You know, or you have pain in your neck. It started a couple of weeks ago and it's affecting your sleep and your job. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And this bit's important. Look, the reason we're summarizing is to encourage correction. If you get it wrong, that's fine. If the patient says, no, it started 2 weeks ago, not 3 weeks ago, that's cool. That's what you want. Remember, we are demonstrating to the examiner that we understand what they've told us.
formal structure for these types of classes.
Okay, so here I am with Edwin. Hi, Edwin.
Hey, Paul.
Hi, nice to see you. Okay, so Edwin, you are an OET hero, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, super. So where do you live?